The fourth installment of the Expendable franchise comes out September 22nd. Adan and I are going to take a look back at the one that started all, 2010's The Expendables. Bring it. Welcome back to Tales of Two Bros. My name is Angel.
I'm Adan.
Where we give you a review at least once a week. Spoiler alert. The Expendables, a movie that I hold dear in my heart. It's like up there with Predator in the sense of action films. And surprising enough, when I went to look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, this is rated at 41% by the critics and 64% by the audience. And I am shocked. I mean, for pure fun, pure adrenaline, this is the best out of so far of the Expendables franchise. The best one is directed by Sylvester Stallone, co-written by Sylvester Stallone and Dave Callahan, starring Sylvester Stallone as Barney Ross. I just noticed that that's the third character he wrote that has an R. Rocky, Rambo, Ross.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing for R's. And as Barney Ross, switch it around, Rocky Balboa. Am I digging too deep?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe digging too deep. Maybe. Jason Statham, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Eric Roberts, Randy Couture, who we just mentioned in
Outlaw Johnny Black,
Steve Austin, David Zayas. He's from where? He played the General Garza.
Oh, Dexter.
He was the cop, right?
Yes, Angel Batista. You did not like him in Dexter.
No, he was corny. Yeah.
You hated the fact that his name was Angel.
Giselle Ite, who played Sandra, the damsel in distress.
AKA daughter.
Right. Gary Daniels, who we know him from.
A few moments later.
Trying to put a face. Who was he in the movie?
He was the Fu Manchu. They call him the Brit.
Star Wars?
No. He was the live-action version of Fists of the North Star.
Oh my God, I was thinking of Ray Park. You know I never look up the cast. But yeah, he Yo, have you ever saw the live-action version of Fists of the North Star?
Yes,
Side note.
It's pretty bad and kind of good at the same time.
It is extremely bad, but in a good way in some way and things.
Yeah, the martial arts is really good, but the acting is stupid. But anyway, let's continue. Terry Crews, Mickey Rourke. You have other actors too, of course, but those are the main crew.
Sure. The one other actor or actress I remember was Charisma Carpenter because Buffy and Angel. She looked good in it. Technically not necessary.
Yes, I was about to say, not necessary for this story. It really served no purpose in a sense.
Other than for like a running joke.
I don't know if it's a running joke, but yeah.
They made a joke at the end.
I guess. All right. Now, this movie, again, to me, it's like I can watch this movie over and over and over again. Are there faux pas? Yes. There are a lot of bad CGI moments because there are times where they're in the car, the vehicle, where they're supposed to be on the island. They're actually in green screen room in a car. A lot of times the daggers from Christmas, Jason Statham's character, is fake.
Oh, absolutely.
You can tell, like, it's done very well. I mean,
except for the end.
Close to which end?
The very last dagger that gets the guy in the back.
That's fake.
Yeah, that's what I said. Except for the end, It's like you said, it's done very well. It was epically bad.
Oh, epically, yeah. It's shining bright in a dark woods.
Looks like a machete.
Well, it's because it's the knife that
Dolph Lundgren had.
Bigger, almost like a sword.
That's why I'm saying it looked like a machete. It looked like it grew.
Right. But what I liked the most about this, Sylvester Stallone directed this. He also directed Rambo, where it's just very military or guerrilla style directing. Just get the shots, just get it in, get intense. Let's get it and get out. Like, let's do it and be done with it. And behind the scenes stuff, you see a lot of stuff of like, it's just run the lines real quick rehearse. Now let's do it. But also like the chemistry of the characters as if they were doing this for a long time. Like the part, which is one of my favorite scenes, Jason Statham and Sylvester, is that they're fighting all these guys, and then a truck door opens, and the guy's about to shoot Jason, but then Sylvester shoots the guy. He's like, "Yeah, you could have killed me.
Yeah.
You could have killed me." And they're like, "You're welcome." And he was like raising their hands, and Sylvester's like raising his hands, like, whatever. Those moments like that seem very natural, as if they were doing this for a long time. And I like that, especially also where they had that roundabout, and they're talking about a mission, and Randy Couture talks about his therapy. And then you have Jet Li talking about his family that he doesn't have. He just wants more money.
Yeah.
and like Jason and Stallone are looking at each other, and they're like, I don't know, I don't get it, but whatever it is. For me, I just dug that. It felt very organic. Now, what about you? You haven't seen this. I don't know when was the last time you saw this. Did you enjoy it as much as I still do?
I honestly hadn't seen it prior to this in years, more than 5 years, I want to say. I've seen the first Expendables maybe 2 other times prior to this. I would tell you right now, I'm not going to give it as high as praise as you.
Okay.
I do say it's good for what it is. It is a lot of action. You're going to get a lot of good comical moments. It is going to be entertaining in a lot of different ways. For me, there were some things. There's certain things I like about action, and there's certain things I don't like about certain action scenes, about how they're done, and that throws me off greatly when that
Like what,
happens.
for example?
Cutscenes, a lot of cutscenes, or where they flip back and forth on a scene, and so it's not cohesive in one moment. Like
Okay, but like what, for example? Like what scene?
the Jason Statham versus with Jet Li final fight with Gary Daniels, the Brits, and they keep hitting him, and it's like boom, 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 and felt like I was gonna have a seizure. Seeing the scene cut down in so many ways, you could literally just stay on the scene. You don't need to, they're not leaving the room. They're not doing anything. You could do all that and still get the scene done.
Well, I kind of liked that scene because how they took him out.
No,
It
the
didn't.
takeout was good. I'm just talking about
Right.
leading up to that.
Right, but to me, it's like I also didn't make no sense because we don't see Gary really do his thing.
No, you don't.
He was known for his direct to DVD action martial art films.
Yeah,
He did a
strong
lot
in the
of them.
'90s.
Yeah, he did a lot of them, and he still looks great. Then in 2010, he still had the size and all that stuff.
Hmm.
He took it to the next level where Van Damme was going in the sense of the kicking and all that stuff, the splits and all that
Yeah,
stuff. Because he has a movie with Jackie Chan called City Hunter, which is a anime and manga series.
I low key
And
love that
then
film.
yeah, and Jackie Chan made a film out of that, and then Gary Daniels was in it, and they did that Street Fighter sequence back
Hmm.
and forth where he's Ken and he has that split where he can pick himself up by squeezing his legs together and slide on the floor.
Yep.
So anyway, that's why I'm a little disappointed in here that they didn't really show it in the sense why there's our 2-on-1 with this guy that we have not seen prior into the film was a badass or a force to be reckoned with.
Hmm.
That two guys needed to take him out. If they did that, okay. But they didn't let nothing to lead up to that.
I think
So
they
that's
did
my
it just
only.
because he started to win against Jet Li, and then Jason Statham shows
He
up.
didn't really.
No, he
Jet Li was
wasn't.
stabbing him. He was stabbing him with the dagger and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
but still entertaining nonetheless.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not saying it's not entertaining. It's just like things like that throw me
Right.
off, and I
Right.
lose a lot of points with that. And it was longer than it should have been. Charisma Carpenter's part, as nice as it was, that whole story arc with her, not necessary. They had Arnold and Bruce Willis just to have them in there. So there's a lot of
That was a
parts that
great, but that
it's a
was
nice,
awesome.
it's
For
a nice
me.
little
I liked it.
cameo.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was fun because they had that also that banter with each other, which was really good. Now there's also a director's cut of this.
Okay.
Don't get it.
All right.
It's not worth it. It takes it out. It takes it out like because it starts with him, Barney Ross narrating, and it just takes it out. Where in this one we see a ship being taken over by pirates, blah blah blah, and we
Hmm.
see the Expendables come in.
Yeah. Doing their job.
That's a better intro. That's a better start. You get into it. You understand what's happening. The director's cut
Hmm.
takes it out, it changes some things in the middle of the film. A little more story with the Jason Statham and the girl. Again, not needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they cut out like 15 minutes to make it a solid 90-minute movie, cool.
Yeah. Okay. If we took out like Charisma Carpenter's part, and like you want to give us more backstory to one of the other characters, cool. Like I was interested in Dolph Lundgren's character.
Yes, but no. I mean, they from him, like he was the weakest link in the sense of like acting wise, talent wise.
Hmm.
He is not a good actor. He is great when he does accents. He was also actually very good in Aquaman,
I did like him in
surprisingly good.
Aquaman. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. But when he's doing the regular stuff, if it's not an accent, he's not good. It's like very plain. He tries so hard. Like the part where Jason comes to, and they're in the plane after he gets handcuffed. Jason comes in and he's like, "Are you good?" And he's like,
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
"Yeah." He nods for so long. Just nod or say yeah, No need to nod for 5 minutes and then say, "Yeah, you're beating a dead horse."
I actually would have liked it if he went more crazy, because I like Dolph Lundgren when
Yeah,
he's insane. When they resurrected his character, what was that Universal movie?
Universal Soldier.
That was a good one, but there was a one where they resurrected his original character, Regeneration.
Is that Universal Soldier? Generation.
Yeah, Universal Soldier Regeneration.
So I was right.
Well, they're all Universal Soldiers, but
And he's resurrected.
this was like his body was in a mincemeter, and they cloned him.
Oh, well, I didn't see that part. I didn't see that.
It came out years later. That was actually a really good film. I did enjoy that one. But I digress.
Yeah. So
Jet
what was your
Li.
point? I don't get it. So what was your point?
I like Dolph Lundgren the way he's insane.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, he didn't. He wasn't given their freedom to let loose.
Like the
Seems
car
kind
chase
of-
scene when he's chasing the guy and he's like, "Don't talk to me, bug," and like
Right. Insect.
insect and
Cockroach.
like,
You know, like all these like stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
And then he
that he
stomps
was
him.
leaning to being the insane Dolph Lundgren. I'm like, he's getting good, but then they pull him back.
And that scene with him and Jet Li, that's one scene I did not appreciate because
I
the
can see
camera angles there. They're in the little thing. You can't really see the movement because the cameras are so up close. So you can't really appreciate the movements that was happening because you have a guy who's small but very fast, and you have a guy who's very tall who can reach you easily.
And he's strong. But here's the funny thing is, and I remember watching that for the first time and rewatching it and going, Dolph Lundgren can fight like in real life.
Kyokushin. He fought. He trained in Kyokushin. He's a black belt in Kyokushin karate. I think he got 4th dan or 3rd dan.
Yeah, he's like a
So,
champ. I think he was also
Yeah.
a champion in one like one tournament or something like that. Or I've seen maybe he's utilized that like once or twice in his film career. No. There was several times he utilized the fact that he can fight.
Showdown with Tokyo.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. And there was others. I'm like, use that. Like this
Red
was a
Scorpion.
good. Did he use that in Red Scorpion?
He did martial arts in there. He did stuff. Yeah.
So like that could have been something that could have been more utilized in a close hand-to-hand fight with Jet Li. I would want to be able to say, "Hey, can I do some like actual martial arts with him? Like this will be a great moment rather than just make me seem like a juggernaut."
I mean, granted, he is older.
They're all older.
They're all older, but Jet Li's a little younger, a little more frequent with his martial arts training.
True.
Than say Dolph Lundgren, I will guess. Yeah, that was to me the weakest of the fight scenes because again, you can't appreciate that's what like martial art fight scenes. You need to see the movement. You can't hide it.
Yeah.
If you're hiding it, it's because it could be multiple factors why that didn't work so well. What was your best or favorite scene, though?
You kind of called it out when that scene with the security stopping them in front of the one they're on tour, and they take out everybody.
That's one I like. That's my favorite one too.
Yeah. I thought that was just a cohesive, really good scene. The tension rises, and then when everything pops off, it's just like really good. When it cut from one person to the other, it's not too quick, but not too long, staying on one person versus the other. I thought it was very cohesive.
My second favorite is with him, Stallone, versus Stone Cold Austin.
You didn't like Randy Couture versus Stone Cold?
Nah. At the end, when he's on fire and all that stuff, nah.
I kind of liked when Terry Crews walks in with his girlfriend.
His girlfriend. Oh, it was cool, and it's like it sounds like drums, even though it's not. It's like bam, 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 and you hear like Stallone. God damn, that's loud. And they said, "What happened to you?" I just got my ass kicked. And it was like, which is funny because it's true. But in this movie too, like Stallone suffered major injuries. He broke his neck in this one. And it's with Stone Cold, and we see it. It's on film when he says, "Bring it" to Stone Cold, and Stone
he
Cold
spears him.
That land that we see, that's when he breaks his neck.
That's the thing with Stallone. He's like, "No, we got to make it real," and he always gets hurt when he goes into that mode. When he fought Dolph Lundgren in the Rocky IV, and he's like,
hit in the chest. Was in the hospital for like a week
because he kept egging Dolph Lundgren. He's like, "No, really hit me. Dolph Lundgren's like, "I'm gonna hurt you."
Yeah, he got what he asked for. But oddly enough, he was afraid to do that with Hulk Hogan in Rocky III.
Yeah.
He's like, he got scared. He says, "Don't worry, I'll sell it. Don't worry, you'll be fine." And I guess that's where he got a little more comfortable. I don't know. But he also torn, I want to say his Achilles, either his Achilles or his tendons in his ankle. Because he tore something there. And they show it like on the behind the scenes. Like he's trying to, like he felt something, and then he's grabbing his foot, he's laying down, stretching it, which is a wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
But his flexibility was, I guess his adrenaline, what have you, his flexibility was able to bring his foot to his head or his shin to his head.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so he got hurt. Knowing all this stuff and seeing what he did for it, him writing, him directing, him starring, this is why I love it more. Now, is it as good as Predator and the story base? No, of course not. But it's a cohesive story. You see it going down. He is a guy also in the sense of redemption.
Yeah, it leads to that.
Because, right, because of what he sees with her, the daughter.
She had a cause worth fighting for.
Right. And that hit him. Even though he's been on the field and done so many jobs, it's like something about her for some reason. I don't know that he liked her. Could be something like that. He had a little hot for her. She was attractive.
I think that was like what started it, but like that whole Mickey Rourke scene was really what drove it home.
One take. That was a one take scene.
Which Mickey Rourke actually, for me, kind of stole the show. Like when he was on there, his presence actually.
Yes,
took over.
It came off from his the movie The Wrestler. He had that stocky build. He had that iconic look that he had for a while. Now he looks totally different. The Wrestler, Iron Man 2, and then this one all coincided where they
his
had
bulky
that
stage.
His bulky stage with the hair and the accent he had at that time, because he was like a rock and roller kind of like. Kind of dude, and it fit his motif, it fit his what he was doing at that moment. Yeah, he did steal the show.
Yeah,
the charisma he had.
That was what it was. He had his character just had a huge amount of personality.
And for me, the weakest point was the love interest story with Christmas and that girl. Not needed. Even the scene with him in the basketball court.
Yeah. That was just to show that he could be he's like a badass, but
yeah, not like I mean, like okay, like those guys could have pressed charges. That motherfucker could have been in jail.
Absolutely,
especially pulling out a knife and then stabbing the guy. Could have. I mean, that knife was big, and he hit when he popped the basketball, it didn't hit the guy.
All that for him to go, it's like, you should have waited. I was worth it. Was this supposed to be like a validation for you, bro? Like as in like a self-affirmation of,
well, also to show
personal
her
value.
Well, not just that, but I think also to show her like what he does for a living, because she never knew.
He did tell her that. Yeah. Like at that scene, he goes, you wanted to know what I do. This is what I do. I kick ass.
No, I randomly beat up people.
Yes. I stab basketballs.
Yes. I don't like basketball. I like football. That's my sport. I love football and rugby and cricket. This basketball is crap.
Oh my god, that reminds me of the movie he did called Mean Machine. It's soccer in jail. It's basically Longest Yard in UK playing soccer.
I will not be watching that. All right, so where do we fall in with the Rotten Tomatoes score of 41% with the critics and 64% with the audience?
There's very few times I'll side with critics. This is still not one of those times. I'm going to lean towards the audience. I will go 67.
67?
Yeah. Like I said, since the movie first came out, I only seen it, including this time, 2 other times. 3 times total in my life. I don't have the drive to go say, I want to see this movie again. It just doesn't resonate with me.
Wow. Okay. 90 for me.
I felt that. You were a roadie. It was just pouring out from your pores like 90s.
I own it. It is definitely worth the watch. If they would give it again, say they would show it right before they did Expendables 4, I would get tickets and see it again on the big screen. I saw it twice in the big screen. I've seen it like 10 times or more already at home. This movie is, for me, is pure adrenaline. It's pure action. The story may be a little weak, but I love the chemistry with the characters. I would tolerate the story with Christmas and his girl. Mickey Rourke does steal it. I love Terry Crews in it. Randy Couture is funny as hell, especially with his It's Not Easy Being Green. It's Not Easy Being Green with his story. I love that.
The cauliflower, yes.
Yeah, I love that scene because they're like bantering with each other. They're like acting as best friends. They've been together for a long time. The founders of Planet Hollywood, Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. That scene in the church is also very entertaining for me. They're cracking jokes. Now, my friend loves being in the jungle. Talking about Rambo. What's his problem? He wants to be president. Arnold, who was governor at the time. For me, it's just pure joy, fun. Yes.
So for you, it's price of admission.
Price of admission. Worth the own. Yeah. It's there.
For me, it was a one and done.
No problem. Expendables 2, shit. Expendables 3, shitter. I hope 4 redeems itself in one way or another. Reason why I think those 2s are shit, even though you have like Van Damme, you have
Chuck Norris.
Gibson, Chuck Norris not really doing anything. He's just like Mission Impossible, not Mission Impossible, Mission and Action days with the gun and Invasion USA. He can't really move. He's just shooting. But the thing is, what I love about this one is that you have directing talents of Sylvester Stallone. That it was written by or co-written by Sylvester Stallone. So you have this is part of his baby, and then he gave his baby to other people to work on, to write, to direct, what have you. So it has that missing element. I'm sorry, Scott Adkins is in Expendables 2.
Underutilized.
Yes, and Van Damme, and then the fight with him and Van Damme, Sylvester and Van Damme, was so a letdown in comparison to what we saw. Like the action we see here, it's like, I think I own Expendables 2. And I only think I've watched it twice.
Probably.
Jet Li's not even in it. An Asian girl is in it. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, it's like Jet Li's not even. He shows up and then leaves, and then he reappears at the end of Expendables 2. I was like, but why even bother?
Yeah, that's true.
I am going to watch Expendables 4 because I do love the franchise. I'm just hoping they bring about now how they're going to do that in the sense of Sylvester. It's like, and so is everyone else.
They brought in a lot of new blood there too. That's what they've been doing with the last 2 films.
Yeah, 50 Cent is in this. I don't know why. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I know people were like, 50 Cent's the action star. I'm like, is he?
Is he? Yeah, is he? Wesley Snipes was awesome in Expendables 3.
I did like Wesley Snipes. Yeah,
because he's a martial artist. He's Shotokan. He has that.
And he's like his personality for a character is also really cool.
All right, guys, that is our throwback review of the Expendables. Have you seen it? What was your thoughts on it? What was your favorite moment or your least favorite moment? Let us know in the description below. If you have a movie or show you'd like us to review, please either email us at talesoftvbros@gmail.com or leave a comment in the description below. Until next time, we'll be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adan.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.